1492, the Incan Empire was the largest on earth. It beat China, India, what existed in Europe. It ran from what is now modern-day Ecuador to northern Chile, over 2,000 miles. The Q'ero are the last ancestors of the Incas. They hold the tradition. The Q'ero live in a very remote area that's bordered by the Amazonian jungle, the high Andes, which are peaks of 20,000, 21,000 feet and higher. So they're bordered by inaccessible, remote areas. The indigenous people carry the soul and this essence, the teachings for the sustainability transformation. More fragile than the environment, more fragile than the animals is the people, the indigenous people. They're the first to die from disease that they have no immunity to, and when they become transitional into the existing culture, they're the most marginalized, the most poverty-stricken, and the most disease-ridden. They have the shortest lifespan, and they lose everything, and eventually they're gone. So when they're gone, the traditions that they carry from those people who live on the ancestral land, then we lose that wisdom tradition. What we need now mostly is the wisdom of the indigenous people, the soul of the green movement, the essence of the teachings of the earth. High mountain regions of the world, like the Andes, have always harbored the most spiritual traditions. They're the most difficult places to live. There is very little life that high altitude supports. So it has to be respected, it has to be tended, there's very little resources. They have to live within their ecological limits in a very, very tight way. The altitude fosters a mystical thinking and fosters this spiritual connection to the earth. These are the people who are the repositories of this type of knowledge. Native American spirituality is a personal mysticism that's connected directly to the earth. The core is this personal mystical experience, and that's where the authenticity manifests. That's where the communication with nature, the ability to listen and to learn comes from, the ability for the heart opening. I call it earth-based, heart-centered. Earth-based wisdom, heart-centered spirituality, rooted in personal mysticism. So ritual is what comes afterwards, and we make an offering. We make an offering from the heart. It comes from the heart. So in the Andes, they're people of the stones. It's very high, remote, very little vegetation in terms of trees. So they take the stone, we blow our breath into it and say, here is my life. My breath is symbolic of that. I give that to you, and I offer that to you. That's all I have, but it's everything I have. So the rituals, the ceremonies of reciprocity, the offerings to the animals, to the corn, to the stones, to the mountains are abundant and copious. This is about rediscovering the essence of what makes us human, what has allowed our ancestors to survive for thousands and thousands of years. Machu Picchu is the eco-spiritual icon of our times, and it remains a symbol of an enduring symbol of what human beings can accomplish with next to nothing, and the legacy that we can leave from generation to generation. So as we move into this transitional times, into the sustainability movement, into the green economy, that we don't just push another agenda without a basis, without a root, without principles to guide us, without ethics based on what our ancestors knew to carry us into the future. If we can do that, I believe that we can take those four wisdoms of science, of the ancients, of women, and of indigenous people, of the earth, and we can become what we were meant to be, spiritual and highly enlightened, high technical culture.